What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back the day after. Still a disappointing result. 1-1 against Lille leaves us with 7 points in the Champions League out of 12, which is not bad, but it's not great either. You know, it leaves you in a weird spot, in my opinion. But forget about the big picture in terms of, where will we finish in the Champions League. Let's talk about the now. And the now is that, again, the attacking phase is not good enough. And Motta acknowledged that. He acknowledged that basically in the final third, he said the last 20 meters, so the final third-ish, needs to be better. There's a lot of hesitation, and that is kind of the issue right now with this team, one of the issues. So we're going to talk about that, player ratings as well, and what the others had to say. Before we do that, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about it. Okay, so the game in itself, like so many games this season, besides, what was it, that 4-game stretch, we control games. If the opponents leave us the ball, whatever, or if we claim the ball, I think it was a bit of both. I thought there were moments Lille were trying to step it up and try to possess the ball, but we were solid and we did what we had to do to keep the ball away from Lille. So credit, where's due. And I like that. That's something I really appreciate, that we improved on, that we are able to keep possession now and control games. We look solid, besides that one weird moment from Cabal where it was all wide open and everybody was kind of out of place. We look solid again, in the last 2 games. But the issue of chance creation is still there, and Motta acknowledged it. I thought it was in my head, I keep talking about the final third needs to be better, so on, so on. And Motta came out and said it needs to be better. Like, the final third is not good enough. It needs to be improved. It is an issue, basically. But he's happy with what he saw from Yildiz and Conceição. Like, the issue more right now is, I don't think it's individual. I don't think it's like, Conceição was playing bad, and Vlahovic and Yildiz, they're all playing bad, so it's impossible to have some chemistry. I think it's more about real chemistry. Individually, I don't think they're having shocking performances. It's just not clicking. It feels like they're all separate pieces to a big puzzle, and they're all on the table, and you still need to figure it out where each piece needs to go. In this case, the 4 pieces. With Colt Miners, I thought about it, and rewatched a little bit of the game. He didn't had a bad shocking game, but his impact, his involvement is not what I think it should be. Like, it should be more. He should be more involved. It should be more in your face. It should be more, impressive. It should be more, okay, this is it. That's the glue. That's what we needed, so on. That's not really the case right now. So individually, we can talk about players, and we will do that in a sec. But the big picture is, up front, the front line is, I don't know if I need to call it struggle. It's still looking for its identity, and we're doing that on the fly, and it's hampering us, because I think there's more potential in this squad than we're getting out of it right now. I think we can do more. Even if you think it's not the best of squads and we like this and this, fine, whatever. I think if that final third even clicks to 50% of their abilities, we can take massive steps forward, and we can be even better, and so on, so on. So right now, I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's it, unless you go back to the Torino game and be all over the place defensively, or the team as a unit, then okay, then that issue is back, I guess. It's not completely gone, but the attacking phase is the biggest issue right now, and Motta acknowledged that. So how do you solve that? I have no idea, because again, I don't think it's one individual who's messing it up all the time. Just sub him off and play somebody else. I don't think that's the issue right now. I think it's just chemistry. It's the ideas, is execution. In the first half with the offside goals, brilliant build-up play, but it's too slow. The passes are coming too slow. That's why it's offside. It's not because the ideas are not really there. It's just the chemistry, the execution is not what it should be. It's not on point. So will we fix it? I don't know. We must if we want to do something this season. But right now, I'm not sure what the solution is. But let's go to the player ratings. Starting off with, and by the way, this is probably the most difficult one. I One of the most difficult player ratings I'm doing because I'm extremely disappointing and I'm not really sure what I need to do with it. So I'll probably change him on the fly as well. I gave Di Gregorio a 6. He had absolutely nothing to do besides making that one save at the near post in the second half. And that's about it, so I gave him a 6, a box standard 6. Cabal, 5. He was the worst player on that pitch. He got cooked by Zigrova from minute 1 to minute, 68 when he got subbed. That's why I prefer a different backline in this situation, because I think on the ball he's okay, and bombing forward or whatever, it's okay, but defensively he's very naive. It's weird to say, but I think Savona defensively is more mature. Coming from CDC, he looks more secure, he looks more confident of his case rather than Cabal, who didn't have a good game. The goal starts with him. At that moment in time, if you step up that high on the pitch, you get the ball or you make the foul. That's it. And he did neither, and that cost us a goal. So 5, Gatti and Kalulu. 6 as a parrying. I thought Gatti was a little bit better than Kalulu at times defensively. I thought Kalulu had a weird start to the game in the first half. Second half, he stepped it up a bit. He won the ball back high and so on. So they didn't give up much. So it wasn't impressive, but it wasn't poor as well. It was just okay. You did your job, but it wasn't impressive like in previous games. After Inter, Kalulu has not been at the level he played before Inter. So that's why I've always said, I'm scared that he hit his ceiling and he will drop down a little bit. That was always my fear, and right now he took a few steps back. It's not rubbish. That Inter game was not good, but after that it's a few steps back. So both 6s. Cambiasso, 6.5. I gave him 6.5 because that run for that goal was unbelievable. Unbelievable. That I thought at one point, that's one touch too much. You're gonna lose that ball, and he just blast past those players, and that's what made the game. That's what got us the point. Basically, that's what got us the goal. That's what got us the pen. That brilliant run from Cambiasso, who in my opinion is better coming off the left. Obviously, I think he's more at ease there. I think he's more comfortable to leave his position and also be aware that he needs to track back. That's why I prefer Savona playing, so everybody can play in their positions basically. So 6.5. I thought that won us the game basically. Locatelli, I thought Locatelli was the best player for us on that pitch, but I cannot give him a 7 because it was not a 7 type of game. And maybe in comparison, if Cambiasso didn't have that run, he wouldn't have a 6.5. I thought Locatelli was the best player on that pitch. I thought he had a very good game. It was very consistent. At one point in the second half, he was in total control until we made the subs, and I'll talk about that in a sec. And everybody kind of dropped a little bit. I thought he had a very good game as well. So 6.5, I thought he was my man of the match. Thuram also, I thought he had a good game. But I won't give him a 6. It's not a 6.5 game. It's not a 7 to me. It wasn't, oh my god, but he had a good game. Technically, it was much, much better than Udinese away. It was more clean. He did what he had to do, broke up play, won the ball back, caused problems in midfield, and then the second half was in total control in my opinion. So 6, quote minus 5.5. Again, I rewatched it. It wasn't rubbish, but for me, he's not getting involved as much as I wanted it to be. And maybe it's on him. Maybe he's still looking. Maybe everybody's looking. Maybe we still need to figure out how we're really going to use him. But that's just me. The 2 runs for the goals were excellent. They were offside, but they were excellent. I know we can do that. But his involvement on the ball needs to be better because he has the ability for that. It needs to be more determined. It needs to be more decisive, and that's on him. Getting involved more, probably on Motta and the team, to get him more involved. So 5.5. Conceição, I'll give him 6.5 because he won the pen. But in the first half, I don't think he had a good game. I know people are frustrated with Conceição because he was not beating his man, and he keeps doing that. I've always said, so I'm gonna stay consistent. That's why I like Conceição, or that's why I'm okay with it, because I know at one point he will make it happen. And he did. He won us a pen. And in the second half, he did beat his man a couple of times. So he's a confident player. If it happens one time, it will probably keep happening for the entirety of the game, you know. So 6.5 just purely because he won the pen. Otherwise, it wasn't a fantastic game. You know, I need to be honest with that as well. Yildiz, not a shocking game. I thought, yeah, in the first half he kept the ball well at times. You know, in the first half, in the second half, got out of some weird situations very cleanly. So 6, but couldn't be really decisive as well. Vlahovic, I thought he had a decent game. Scored the pen perfectly. That save in the first half was insane. You know, that was a brilliant attempt from him. And then 2 minutes later or something, he makes a weird pass to Vlahovic. But other than that, his link-up hold-up play was pretty good. His link-up play was pretty good. I would have not subbed him. That's something I'll talk about in a sec as well. Savona came on. He did well. So 6. McKennie, actually, until he made a foul very deep in the game, I didn't know he came on. And same for Weah, to be honest. And Bangola, no rating. I forgot they came on. I'm not going to lie. So I gave Motta a 6 because, yes, we controlled the game. I'm not so sure about starting Cabal and also the subs. I know he's using who he has on the bench. Fagioli didn't get minutes again. You know, weird. You know, from starting to Leipzig to this now. I know this is his bench right now. I get it, you know, fine. But you're only missing Gonzalez. Like, only Gonzalez is out. And Milik, obviously. But Gonzalez is out. The bench, like, these are the players you have on your bench. Maybe not the most talented players, but this is your bench. And you're going to need to figure out to make subs that they have an impact. You know, like, Weah McKennie didn't have an impact. Weah rarely has an impact. He scored 2 goals, but other than that, he's anonymous in games, in my opinion, because he has pace, but he doesn't use it. And McKennie, I'm not sure what that sub was. Getting out Vlahovic when you're chasing a game after he scored that pen and got some confidence, not so sure about that as well. Like, not sure about that at all. So, yes, the quality on the bench is what it is, but this is it. Like, this is the bench. So you're going to need to figure out, like, these players, if you make subs and you make a lot of them and you get your number 9 off, you need to find a way for these subs to be impactful. So that's on you, Motta. That's something you're going to need to figure out because the players are not getting better. McKennie is who he is. Weah is who he is. Savona coming on in Bangola. That's who they are. So you're going to need to figure it out, you know. So 6. I'm still disappointed by the result, not going to lie, because that Lille team was not good. Actually, it looked poor at times, in my opinion. Inept to actually do something. But, you know, they got the point, so fair play to them. But for us, I feel it's 2 points dropped. Not because we missed tons of chances, purely because we should have done better and more against that opponent. But let me know. Motta acknowledged we have a problem in the final third. Will we find a solution anytime soon? It doesn't feel like it, but we must, you know. So let me know in the comments, like the video, and I will speak to you guys later tonight. Ciao.